Taking a look at Los Angeles. Mr. Fundamentals, he's in at point guard. Hill is out there with Davis, and it's Sampson in at the 2 guard. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Lakers lead by 5. 2K Sports, back in a moment here from the U.S. Airways Center.
The NBA season gains momentum. Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers take on the Los Angeles Lakers this Friday, 10:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Pacific.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And from what we've seen so far from the Lakers, guys, what are your thoughts?
And I thought they built this lead mainly because of their work on the glass. They really dominated the rebounding totals.
And it takes an effort from all 5 guys to get a rebounding advantage like that. Everybody has to rebound the ball. That's how you finish off your defense.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. And Phoenix looking who they've got on the floor. Thomas is out there with Dragic. Then it's Ennis. Then it's Plumlee. And it's Morris in at the power forward. And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hi, guys. Mr. Fundamentals in their last game against the Rockets got the job done. He dropped in 32 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what was a great exhibition on his part. Truly impressive numbers from him in a stellar performance. What a special night.
Thanks, Doris, for revisiting what was an astounding performance, Clark.
It clearly was one of those games that when we look back on his career, this game will be right there among the best ever that he's played.
Well, he was in the zone from the outset. It was just one of those games where he was feeling it. Everything was going his way, and he attacked, and that's what I like. Once he knew it was his night, he just attacked relentlessly.
Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. And good as it rattles through the hoop. Mr. Fundamentals got the lead up to 5 now for the Lakers. For Phoenix, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Kept alive, Plumlee, and there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. Scoring breakdown for the Lakers.
A lot of time they've been spending at the foul line so far, guys. They'll take those points all game long if they can get them.
And they're also showing some muscle here in the first half, finding a lot of points in the paint area.
The free throw off from Plumlee. Los Angeles leading by 3. Pass to Sampson. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
But you know, they've got a nice lead. Don't take any chances. The simple one-hander is just fine.
Now, here's Thomas. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Moment here now to see the numbers for Miles Plumlee. How he performed last season, 14th in blocks. And he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league as well. So this is a guy who had a lot of double-figure nights on the glass.
And looking back for a second at his block shots per game average, Steve, I mean, his low post defense was phenomenal. I mean, I love watching him operate down there defensively.
Hey, listen up. We got to push the ball, all right? First thing we got to do is rebound. And then I want everybody getting out. Fill the line.
And while we can, here's a look at the teams that had the fastest hands in the league last season. The Lakers, number 1. The Suns, 3rd.
Well, you can't turn back the clock, Kevin, but either of these teams would be happy to relive last year in terms of their effectiveness at taking the ball away from other teams. I mean, they were amongst the league leaders in pilfering from the opponents.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. A 32-point game for him in the win against Houston.
Chipped in with a couple of blocks, too. So just giving you a hint of his potential impact at the defensive end.
Outside Thomas. Plumlee sets the pick for Thomas. Shoots the three. Count that one.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Lakers have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Mr. Fundamentals passes to Davis. Lakers passing it around. Plumlee with the steal. And now the Suns a fast break. Here's Morris, and that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Morris has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. He's guarded by Thomas. No good for Mr. Fundamentals. Suns have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Thomas kicks to Plumlee. Morris dishes to Plumlee. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. And for the Lakers, they're shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. Mr. Fundamentals passes to Davis.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul them, and free throws are better than a layup.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Not the guy you want to see taking too many free throws. Last season, his numbers among the worst in the league.
You know, yeah, guys, last year was a rough one for him at the stripe. I mean, it's going to be hard for him not to improve on those numbers. They were that bad.
Last game for the Lakers, they picked up the W against Houston.
And that game, guys, was really a perfect example of how important your bench can be. I thought the reserve production was really the key.
Exactly. That was where a lot of their scoring came from. It was a big game for the backups.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. He has 7. Outside Bryant. Here's Mr. Fundamentals, covered by Wesley. Just 4 to shoot. Mr. Fundamentals passes to Howard. Offside Rondo. They set the pick to the middle. And the pass to Plumlee. Wide open look. Shots good by Wesley. 6 points for him. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Suns.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
Well, the other thing I like is defensively they're causing turnovers, and that's allowing them to get into transition.
Now, here's Warren. 9 points in the game so far. Rondo is doubled. Shoots a 3. And Davis pulls it down.
Boy, have they been hitting the glass hard or what? Kind of surprising in such a tight game.
Yeah, you're right. Very rarely will you out-rebound an opponent like that and not have it pay off.
Savage. That's the way to get some momentum on your side.
Absolutely. Those dunks can really have a deflating effect on the defense.
And especially coming from a guy out of the backcourt.
Here's Morris. After the basket by the Lakers. Back to Rondo. Banked in off the glass. Rondo's got the lead up to 2 now for the Suns.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Boy, the ball movement's been fantastic here the last few possessions.
Mr. Fundamentals passes to Howard, and he makes good on the layup.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening, Steve.
No, it's off the charts. It really is. And defensively, I mean, they have to start shutting down some of those lanes to the hoop.
Kicks it to Morris. A baseline J. Almost, but it rolls out.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
Mr. Fundamentals passes to Howard. Outside Rondo. Dishes it to Morris. And Plumlee kicks to Rondo. Inside. Tipped away. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. He's got 9. Here's Davis. Here's Howard. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Boy, I tell you, that's outstanding determination to track that rebound down and fight his way to the bucket for the throwdown.
Clark, that is the effort they're going to need for the rest of this game.
And not just on the offensive glass, Kevin, but all over the floor.
Phoenix with the ball. Following the bucket by the Lakers. Rondo dishes to Morris. Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist. Rondo's got 6 assists in the game. And here is Los Angeles now, and going against Phoenix, their first meeting of the season.
Well, these are a pair of conference rivals that are going to be very familiar with each other by the end of the season. Well, this is just the first of 4 games they'll see each other.
And he banks in the layup. Rondo's got 4 points now in the quarter.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Mr. Fundamentals passes to Howard. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Mr. Fundamentals got it all tied up now for the Lakers. Clark, the coach, was really passionate in that last huddle, trying to do everything he can to get his message across.
You know, and I'm not sure what he wanted exactly, but he did it with enough fire that I'm guessing he's not going to be happy with any.
Too many turnovers.
Mr. Fundamentals. And the Suns making a change here. Morris is checked in. Suns leading by 4. They set the pick. Rondo kicks to Morris. Back to Rondo. Now the dish to Morris. And he uses the glass on the layup. Morris has got 6.
Beautiful dish down low.
Mr. Fundamentals checked in for Bryant.
Well, I had a chance to check out stats for Rajon Rondo. Solid numbers last season. He averaged about 12 points a game last year, 8 assists and 6 rebounds. Certainly not numbers he should be disappointed in, but we know what a high standard he holds himself to.
Well, quite honestly, I hope he's not disappointed. I mean, he's been given the major contributions on a daily basis.
Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession. Goran Dragic is checked in for Phoenix. Suns leading by 6. He feeds it to Morris. Howard with the steal. Pass to Mr. Fundamentals. The 3. Yes! And a nice assist from Lynn. 14 points for Mr. Fundamentals.
And he's starting to pick things up here after a tough first quarter.
Leslie with the ball. He's got 8. Morris dishes to Dragic. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
You know, they really aren't putting up any resistance on the low block. That's the 5th consecutive basket inside.
And Steve, these looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
And the Suns making a change here. Thomas is checked in. Inside, here's Jinx. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Pass to Mr. Fundamentals. To the middle. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got his 5th rebound in this one. Takes a 3. No good from Dragic. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Phoenix ahead, up by 4. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
You guys had the lead after the first, but now find yourselves behind. What's the mindset of this team heading into the break?
I think we're still upbeat. We would have liked to have a stronger second quarter, but we know there's a lot of game left. Hopefully we can get back to how we started the game. That's all I got.
Thank you for your time. This one far from over, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for the 3rd quarter of basketball.
Okay, guys, let's focus and get down to business. Now, here's a few things I took away from the first.